Hello, chess fans. So recently I finished a tournament, and I thought that my first game was a very illustrative example of how you sort of calculate in chess. So a few times during this video, I'm going to pause and I'm going to see if you guys can calculate the variation to the end. So I started off with e4. My opponent went c5, knight c3, knight c6. I decided to go for bishop e5. And this is sort of a modern move that maybe doesn't give the advantage after a move like g6 or knight d4, but it's pretty tricky. So here my opponent went e6. So I know my opponent didn't play the Sicilian, so I wanted to play this tricky thing, and immediately I think they made an inaccurate move. e6 is not supposed to be good because after it takes, I sort of just get the improved Grand Prix because you didn't go for the critical setup g6. Okay, so takes here. He took back with this pawn. He could also take back with this pawn, but this is not bad. And here I played d3. Now, a few times during this game, I should have played e5 to prevent him from playing e5, and he should have also played e5, but this is sort of an idea both of us were unfamiliar with it. So after knight f6, again, e5 now comes with tempo, and after here, you can go knight e4 and target the c5 pawn, but I missed it. I played f4, idea of just playing Grand Prix, which was just my whole idea. I just wanted to play the Grand Prix. Again, he probably should play e5 at some point, and I probably should play e5 too. Okay, bishop e7, knight f3, castles, and here I play bishop e3. We saw knight g4, which is kind of an unnecessary move. Maybe he should go queen b6 or queen c7 or b5 and sort of expand his side of the board. Knight g4 is kind of irrelevant. Bishop g1 and f5. And now here's the first position where I want you guys to take some time and see if you can calculate the winning line. So now this game has a lot of calculations, meaning that I didn't get these calculations right myself. But here, white to move and win. What is the move? So I hope you pause your videos and try to calculate yourself. I feel like this is a very nice example. So the winning move is, if you didn't find it, h3. Now, if you played f5, don't be sad, because I also played f5 in the game. If you played either takes here or takes here, you should be very sad, because that is immediately a very, very bad move. And the reason why is because after queen c7, he's taking back, and he wins not only the pawn, but he opens up the position for his bishop pair. And white would actually be worse. For example, over here, queen c7, and white is worse because the positioning opening up is not favorable for the side without the bishop pair. Okay, so during the game, I was kind of torn between h3 and here. Now, h3 I feel like is a very simple win. And now what the engine gives the line is knight h6 and takes here. And okay, it looks very simple. Okay, knight h6 and takes here. But I saw bishop h4, and I can't take, otherwise I'm getting mated. So I have to go for the move king e2. And after knight h6, what I simply missed is I still can't take here at all. Because he can go back, play f5, and my king's in the center. It's not easy. I simply missed one move. And what was that move? See if you can take a few seconds to calculate it. There's few iterations of the move you can play, but the move idea in general, for example, you can even take here and then play the move. But the move is bishop takes c5. And I completely missed that this wins a tempo, and I completely missed that this pawn was hanging. I just assumed it was guarded by the bishop, but the bishop went to h4. So this is what I missed about the line. Instead, I played the second best move, which is f5. So also pat on the back if you played f5. f5 is also a good move. Okay, so here my opponent played rook e8, and I played queen d2, which doesn't really make any sense. What's the point of queen d2? I wanted to castle queenside, but as we see, I wanted to push a g-pawn, and the queen is going to be very helpful in pushing the g-pawn. So here, you can try to see if you can find the best move. This isn't so much about calculation, but best move is knight d2. And the idea is, first of all, you open your knight's ideas to go over here. Second of all, you open up the queen to the g4 square. And after here, you can immediately play g4. And there's even no need to castle, because if you castle, you give him an attack. Okay, instead I played queen d2. He played knight h6, which didn't make much sense. I think here b5 was doing well for him. Castles, knight h6, castles, b5 now, and now it seemed to make more sense, but no point in playing knight h6. h3 idea was to go g4, f6. Now if he doesn't play f6, he's I think immediately getting trapped with his knight, because I can go for the move bishop e3. If I go bishop e3 now, he goes knight g4, and he offers a draw, but h3 stops that. Now I'm threatening bishop e3, f6, bishop e3, knight f7, king b1. King b1 is the best move. Idea is to bring the knight back and also to defend this a2 pawn in the future. Generally, king b1 can be said to be a good move. a5. I went g4, a4, h4, and here we're attacking on both sides of board. And here my opponent played h6. So now h6 is a very bad move, as you can see by the engine. Sort of, he tried to prevent g5, but in essence, he allowed me to do it even more. So here he took, and played b4, which is, I think, the best move and the only move that gives black any chances. So after knight takes g4, see if you can calculate the winning line for white. it's not even that difficult to see. And there are several winning lines, but there's one that's really clear cut. And I did see it in the game. So I think the clear cut variation is after takes, rook g1. Simple put, he can't do anything. If he takes, h6 is hanging, c5 is hanging, everything is hanging. Rook g6, f6 is in the air. Like, it's +7. So that's the easy way to do it. And after b4, you might just think, can't I just move my knight and the same thing applies? And you would be exactly right. But if you are a club player, when you see a winning move, you look for another one that doesn't win. And that's exactly what I did. Played a stupid move, g6, which is a very bad move. It gives up most of my advantage, but it's not this move that killed me. After knight g5, here is my second exercise for you. This one is extremely hard. The first one is not that hard, but this one I did not spot over the board. And I'm not that weak of a player. I'm around 2090 CFC, which is decent. But yeah, here I completely missed the move. So see if you can find the move. Very difficult move. If you found this, you should be very proud of yourself. So the move is knight takes g5. Very, very, very nice move. And now what I thought is, okay, two of my pieces are hanging. He goes b takes c3, attacking my queen. I have to take back. And then he takes my bishop. Right? No. Queen c4. He can't interpose because my pawns are all covering the squares he can interpose. If king f8, queen f7 is mate. King h8. Queen f7. Wow! I considered this idea briefly, but I somehow saw some sort of ghost here. I think I saw queen e7, completely missing a beautiful move. Takes here. If he takes, I take back, and I'm just completely winning. Just complete miss by me, and he can't take here because then I take his rook. Now, what else could he do? Rook e7, takes here. If he takes, I take here. And I'm winning a pawn by force. Here, I can even go here, winning a pawn. And I'm going to be up 100 pawns. Plus, look at this. This is beautiful. Okay. So next, let's see what he can do if rook g8. Here's another beautiful move. Did you find the move? Pause the video to see if you can. Rook takes h6 is so nice. If g takes, queen h7 is mate. So bishop takes here, and there's no way to stop mate. For example, the only way you stop mate is, okay, let's say you go bishop here. The threat is takes, and then check. This is the threat. So the only way to stop it is queen h4, in which case f6 is also similarly winning with takes, check, takes, and here with mate. So yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Here you're down not only you're down a rook and a bishop, but you're mating him. So I did see queen f7, and I'm not sure what I missed exactly about it. But yeah, I ended up not playing it because I like this move f6 better. And basically, I was kind of hoping and praying he fell for the trick. So there's only one move for black here, which is another position where I'm going to get you to pause and calculate. And my opponent did play it. But every other move loses for the exact same reason. So take a few seconds, see if you can find the move. This one is not that difficult. So the only move is bishop takes. My opponent played it. Now, if you do anything else, for example, if you take here, I go f7. And this is very killer. For example, if king f8, which it looks pretty natural, white to move, and a brilliant move. Just such a nice move. Knight takes g5. If he takes our queen, knight h7 mate. So these are just a few of the lines that can come out. And if he goes the other direction, you can just I think take here, right? Or okay, here you can probably just take here, and then after here you have mate coming. So yeah, he can't do that. So what he has to do is take with the bishop. And this was not that difficult. And now here what I think he missed, he told me in the game he thought he was winning after knight g5. He missed knight takes g5, and after b takes, I don't have to take this back. I have queen f2. Very deep idea. Idea is if takes here, now I go queen f7. So I did see this queen f7 motif. And after king h8, I have takes here, in which case he can't take with the queen, because then I'd take his rook. So see if you can see that in your head. If takes, I have queen f7, here, takes, and he can't take here because he loses the rook. For example, takes, mate. So he can't do that. So instead of that, he played queen b6, which was the only move to keep advantage. So very nice move by my opponent. And here I pretty much only have one move. Engine recommends that you can also play here, but he just wins the piece, and I didn't see compensation after this. So instead I played b3. And idea is he still can't take the piece because I have queen f7, and this is hanging. So he took, which is pretty much the only move. And here I have to take, or else I'm getting mated. And here the best move is so difficult. It is incredibly deep, and it's so strange that it's even the best move. So take even 20 minutes to calculate the best move here. It is so deep. And this is just the beauty of classical chess. You get very, very, very rich positions like this from the opening, and this is just this type of stuff that you don't get in Blitz because someone just misses it along the way. So here the best move is Queen A6. And I'm going to show you why in 1 second. Because both me and my opponent ended up making a blunder. But me and my opponent both thought Queen A5 was the best move. And here we both thought, okay, Knight H7. I have to get my knight out of the attack and also threaten to take here. Now here in this particular position, black can't really go here. Why not? Because if you take the rook, you're not threatening anything after that. So white has enough time to take the knight and bring the queen in. And if you take the rook, you're getting mated. Okay. So what's the difference? So black has to go here. Now what's the difference with Queen A6? Knight H7, Bishop G4. If knight takes the same thing, after bishop takes D1, the D3 pawn is hanging. So you have to take with the rook. Incredibly deep, incredibly just crazy. And neither me or my opponent, I think, saw this. Just absolutely brilliant. Instead, he played C2. And here he told me in the game that he thought he was completely winning because he thought that I just have to move. And if I move my king anywhere, I lose. I just lose the rook. If I take here, I lose my queen. So I have to take with the queen. And here he thought, okay, I'm winning a piece. But then I think he realized after takes, if he takes rook F1, brilliant move, is mate. In the game, he was trying to tell me, oh, Queen H2 I thought was winning, which is also winning. But Rook F1, the move I showed him, was even better. And the idea was Queen H2. Yeah, okay. Instead, he went... also, I want to show another line. Actually, after Queen A6... Queen A6... yeah, here. Oh, sorry. Queen A6. I'm trying to remember the line I was trying to show. There's some idea where the rook comes to H2 and you have this nice move, Bishop H3, to cut the connection with the H file. But, okay, I don't remember it right now. Okay, after Queen C2, he played Rook F5, which, as you can see by the evaluation bar, is not a very great move. And also just keep in mind, my opponent was around 1694 in this game, so I was the favorite by around 400 points. So yeah, take a few seconds to see if you can find the move. So now here I was incredibly close to not finding the move. I almost played Knight H7 in just like a few seconds. And Knight H7 is the second best move. But the first best move after you see it, it's pretty obvious. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to pause, try to see it for yourself. Queen C4. No way to defend mate. King H8. Knight F7 here. Check here. Check. Rook G8. Knight F7. Classic Greek gift. And okay, if he goes King F8, just Queen C4. So he can't move his king. If he goes king here, I just checkmate him this way. So he has to play Bishop E6, and okay, I'll just quickly go through this rest of the game. Not really much to look at here. And here he resigned because I don't think he can stop this. And I will win, I think, a rook too. So yeah, here he resigned. So yeah, I think pretty nice game by both me and my opponent. I think we both didn't play that particularly great. But okay, such things happens in the first round of the tournament. And especially for me, in the first round of the tournament, I'm okay with maybe not playing my best game here. I didn't play particularly good. I definitely was losing at some point. Definitely did not play at my strength, but it's sort of, I took it as a warm-up game. So I think my opponent played above their strength, and I clearly played a little bit below it. But obviously, there's a huge rating disparity between us. So even if I did play a little bit below my rating, it was still a huge difference. So I think that you can make these sort of mistakes in the first few rounds when you have a huge rating disparity. So yeah, I hope you learned a thing or two about calculation and you learned some new ideas. I thought this game was pretty instructive. And if you want to see my other videos, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I will link my playlist in the comments section below. I will see you guys in the next one.